Hey guys, so now it's official. It's the Stone Hood and Crooks monster dragster is finally done. One thing that I had a problem with this kit. Well, I caught it soon enough before. I usually don't follow the instructions too much, but if you did on this kit, you would have to break the monster's arm to actually get him in this vehicle. His big arm that's hanging out of the vehicle and his body, that joint that's there, in there. I had to stick his arm through the window and then his body glued inside the cab of the car. And I never glued the body and the chassis together. They are two separate things. So he's pretty much locked in, but he is not glued into the car. And if you went by the instructions, I don't think you'd be able to do it, and you'd have to break his arm. And let's see if we can find the instructions. Well, I'll show you that at the end. Let me show you the rest of the build. But pretty much everything else is still the same as the last video. If you haven't watched it, please do. I'll show the build as it goes. But I'm still toying around with the idea of putting a light inside of the cab. I gotta look through some boxes I got. And if I do that, I'm going to do 2 red LED headlights. And I have the surface mount LEDs, the super small ones, and the motor winding wires I did for my N scale train buildings that I did quite a while ago. I'll end up doing for this. That way I can hide a super small battery in there. And like I said, that the top actually still comes off. It's not glued down to the chassis. It's just sitting there. It'll make it really easy to do. I like the headlights. I'll end up drilling the centers out where they have the lens pretty much at. I'll drill those out and put an LED in there. I might use the Moebius 3D something. I can't remember the perfect title, but you can make parts like that. And I'll just make a dome out of that and with the LED glued into it. And then I'll put like a light in the dash area pointing at the monster, showing him off. But I polished this with that Novus 2, and that went over quite well. I'll have to do that from here on out on a lot of my builds. It wasn't hard at all. I always thought it would be super hard to get that. Figured I'd wet sand it and then have spots where it would look awful. But none of that happened. So, and when the grill comes around, I did that in bare metal foil. The bezels around the lights, I did that in bare metal foil. They didn't turn out perfect, but I didn't really want to paint it, have it mess up. So now you can actually see the decals and all that. I'll move it a little bit so you can see the monster. This kit also did not come with windshields. I made sure I added those in. Just didn't look right without it. I used some plastic I had from a package. Just cut those down and super glued them in. Now of course, if all reveals that color shift paint is not really showing off well on the camera. Hopefully when I'm editing on a computer you can actually see it then. And I did the wiring for the motors for the spark plugs. I made myself a distributor cap, kind of drilled it in there, ran the wires. So the monster, he is just craft paint. Use the dry brush method on his arms. So if I zoom in, you can see a bunch of different colors of green. And you can see the veins. I did a poor job of hiding the seams on this one. Kind of got excited and got in a hurry. I guess it gets to us all sometimes. I did a metallic orange for the hemi block. I think that turned out pretty good. I did have it silver at first, but let me make another recording. I'll show the problems with the instructions. So here's the instructions. You know, motor and the body, the shifter. And make sure you do your shifter the way this shows. I figured the closed end would be the one showing the outside. That way it would look better. It would hide the molding line, but it didn't. But here they show gluing the whole monster together, and which would have been really good. You could have hid the seam lines on his shoulders and all that, but this arm, do not glue it to this guy, because there's no way you can get it through that window if he's glued all the way through. And to get this part of the arm to that window, you have to twist it and kind of force it just a little, not a lot, but you can glue all this together. And then you can glue all this together, and you can hide all the seams on the fingers, unlike what I did. And then, you know, the rest of this is fine, and then the rest of this is fine. But also, it does not show a steering wheel in here. It shows it hidden in here, but it don't show you anywhere in the kit. So even here on this part, it shows you gluing that to there, but it gives you a note: do not cement the right arm to the monster yet. But if you're like a lot of us, you don't need these words. Oh, we got instructions, it's all in Japanese, and we still build the kits. You look at this, you think to glue that on there. Just because it's in bold print does not mean nothing. Hell, you could, you know, just like we build Japanese kits, Japanese could be building this kit. Not know English. But that'd be a awful moment. You get all this done, you get him all seamed up and show him good, and then put it together and boom. Can't do it. But that would be my tip on this. If anybody's going to build it, it's a super fun kit. I'd actually suggest getting one if you like it at all, because it surprised me. It was more enjoyable than I thought it would be. But give you a different view of that. That's spinning. Maybe you get to see some of that color shift colors as well. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you then. See ya.